Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we have some very, very big news to talk about coming out of the LCS. Obviously, so far this year already, even before the season has started, there's been lots of drama and talk about the LCS schedule, whether Riot cares about the LCS anymore, whether the LCS is dying, whether this is the beginning of the end or the end of the end or whatever the heck is going on. And hey, Riot has kind of listened to people. They've kind of made some changes. They're slowly starting to head in the right direction. Today, we're going to be going over those changes, what they are, and how I feel about them, and hopefully getting your guys' thoughts and opinions as well. But first, a word from today's sponsor, which is, of course, Prize Picks. This is daily fantasy made easy. All you have to do is select more or less on certain player props surrounding traditional sports, esports, and, of course, League of Legends esports, especially with the LPL and LCK underway, LEC and LCS starting right around the corner. And if you get a couple of picks right in a row, you can win. Like I said, simple, easy. You can play today on prizepicks.com. You can download in the Apple App Store, or you can get it on the Google Play Store as well. Prize Picks offers big payouts, 24/7 live support, and fast and secure withdrawals. So if you guys are looking for a way to get involved or want to check out Prize Picks and make some picks of your own, check out the first link in the description below and get signed up. And when you do so, they're actually going to match your first deposit up to $100 for new users, which is an awesome, awesome, awesome deal. So you guys should definitely go take advantage of that right now. Take a second, go do it. Thank you so much for Prize Picks for helping support my channel and my content. With that being said, let's get right into this. So, like I said, there has been lots and lots and lots of talk about the LCS and some of the changes they've made this year. Most notably, I believe, was that the LCS was going to be on Thursdays and Fridays, and that it was going to be starting at 12 p.m. Pacific, 1 o'clock Mountain, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern. Again, most people are working 9 to 5, 8 to 4, 9 to 5:30, 8:30 to 5, something like that in all those time zones. So at least the first couple of games you were going to be missing. But say the LCS was on from 12 to 6 on the West Coast, you were going to be missing the whole thing pretty much by the time you had to like drive home or whatever. So North American fans, for the most part, whether you were working a job or even if you were in college, if you're in school from 9 to 5 or something like that, 9 to 3, whatever, maybe you have a part-time job after, you weren't going to be able to watch any of these games. And with the LCS happening in Los Angeles, it makes even less sense because who's going to be able to attend these events live and in person? And the live experience is important. People being able to watch live is important. That matters for sponsors. That matters for fans. That matters for players. That matters for teams. That matters for branding. It matters for everything. And people are like, oh, just watch the VODs, or oh, just watch after the fact, whatever. That's not what sports are about, and that's not so much what brands and sponsors and all these things care about either. Riot, again, most people assume is trying to go after more of the international audience for whatever reason. Maybe have some metrics telling them that's the case or whatever. People are very, very mad. But finally, the LCS, depending on who you ask, has listened, has made some changes. They, have decided that this is the direction they're going. They tweeted out yesterday, LCS fans, we hear you and appreciate the feedback. The LCS broadcast schedule will shift to a start at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays and Fridays. Now, I think this is good. This is a good change. Now, I do not think this is perfect. And everyone, I don't know. Obviously, I go back and forth about this. I think a lot of the community is filled with a lot of toxic positivity, and people are scared to, question Riot or go after the LCS or any of these people or, say anything negative. And I don't want to, necessarily ever shy away from those things. I want to give you guys how I really feel. And I do think this is a good change, but it's still weird, it's still dumb, and it also doesn't change how we got here. Just because this is where we are now, that doesn't undo all the things, that doesn't undo the last couple of weeks or months or whatever of Riot telling us, hey, listen to us, starting at 12 p.m. is good. We have all this research that tells us that this is optimal, this is going to be better, you guys need to believe us, you got to listen to us, you need to trust us. Well, where's all that research now? So you did all this research and you found out that Thursday at 12 p.m. was going to be the perfect time for LCS or whatever, and now without even giving it a chance, you're abandoning that? So was your research not true? Non-existent? Did you make that up? Are you actually not confident in your research? Are you really, are you actually just really listening to the fans and you were so scared about the fan backlash or whatever? I don't know. It does seem really weird to announce a decision and then to waffle back and forth on it and then change the decision before you've even given it a fair shot or a fair shake. So I think that's kind of weird. But then again, I also do think it is very valid to be critical and question the decisions and the people making decisions that even got us to that bad start time in the first place. Like, yes, okay, great. Thank you for listening to the fans. Thank you for making a change. But why does it take a fan uproar or a fan outrage or Twitter and Reddit going crazy to make what was to most people, pretty clearly the right decision. You guys made a weird decision. Yes, you did change it, but why should we be confident in you going forward that you're not going to make more weird, bizarre changes? And do the fans need to get, riled up and go crazy every time to end up in a half decent spot? Like, are the fans the ones running the LCS, or are the people getting paid, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, whatever, to make these decisions and to run stuff? Do they even know what the heck they're doing? And who's to blame for the downfall of the LCS? Does it have something to do with maybe some people making some pretty bizarre, pretty strange, pretty weird decisions? Obviously, I love that we had Vulcan chiming in on this. Thank you, thank you, but hear and appreciate this ratio, which is just the perfect response. It was exactly what we needed at this time. I also did really, really appreciate that John Needham, who I don't know if I've met before or ever seen in person or whatever, but Naz I have definitely met and talked with and spoke with, and she's really cool, really smart, seems like a great, nice person, really respect her, but again, just because you respect someone or really like them or think they're awesome or mean well or whatever, doesn't mean every decision they make or are involved in is going to be perfect. You never know how much power they have or whatever, or hey, everyone makes mistakes, everyone makes bad decisions, all this stuff. So I think it's really, really cool. They did an interview with Travis, talked about a lot of things. Some of the more interesting stuff that came out about this was this. I believe it's the second comment on Reddit where people were talking about it, that it's pretty interesting to hear that even with its viewership, the LCS is squarely the number 2 league by revenue. The LCS as a league is our number 2 in our ecosystem from a revenue perspective. The unfortunate part is that it's number 4 and some weekends number 5 in terms of viewership. So as a leader, I look at that and say we have some work to do to make the LCS better. And it also shows you why they're so incentivized to make the LCS better, because even though the LCS is 4th or 5th in viewership, it's still bringing in so much money. If they can get it to 3rd or 2nd in terms of viewership, it could be an absolute cash cow. And they also don't want to kill off one of these cash cows, and it shows they clearly have no incentive to do so. So people who are worried about Riot giving up on the LCS or whatever, that just really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But Riot needs to start acting like it and start making some decisions that actually make sense. And he does say a few minutes later that that's adjusting for, well, that's net of FTX as well. So they're second in terms of revenue, not even including the FTX money. So who knows how much money they were getting from FTX last year. Obviously, that money's not going to be coming in going forward. But still, even without that FTX money, the LCS does make a lot of money. That shows you the power of the United States and of the American dollar and of the American audience, which makes even more sense why the LCS would want to cater to those American viewers and to the North American viewers and stop doing these weird things. And even though they're shifting the schedule to 2 p.m., which again is better, but it's still bad. Games are still going to be starting at a time for a lot of people where they're not going to be able to watch them. If you are, for East Coast, this is like pretty great, but if you are Pacific, Mountain, or Central, you're still not going to be able to watch a lot of the games live. And if you're in LA, you're probably still not going to be able to go to the games in person. So this is still very, very weird and very, very strange to me. And again, seems to go against wanting to cater to that North American audience for the North American League, especially when those North American viewers are clearly the most valuable and bring in a lot of revenue to sponsors and partners and all this stuff. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And yes, we did make a change in the right direction, but still, I would like to even see this later in the day. And it still makes even less sense that if you guys have looked at the schedule, all of the best games, all of the best teams, the FlyQuest, the TL, the teams that people want to watch, they're all playing earlier in the day instead of later in the day. So we're not giving them the primetime slot. We're not building up to their games. We're not, giving them at the times when viewers on the West Coast are actually going to be able to be home and watch it or whatever. We're putting all the good games at the beginning when, again, those are going to be the least conducive times to LCS fans for being able to watch these games. So I don't get it. It still doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Is this a good change? Yes. Is it a step in the right direction? Yes. Do I still have a lot of concerns, a lot of worries, and still does a whole lot of this not make sense to me? Yes. And am I still concerned going forward? Absolutely. But hey, we'll take the small victory. We'll take the small dub. LCS heading in the right direction, at least, with a big change coming out to their schedule announcement. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully I catch you in the next one. Drop a like if you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think down below. Check out Prize Picks. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Peace.